remotely. The public is able to view the meeting via live stream on YouTube. A link for the live stream is posted on the Freeholder website. To all participating in this meeting, please be mindful to put your microphone on mute until speaking. Additionally, please identify yourself by putting your name on the record each time before you speak. The general public will be able to participate by means of communication equipment. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Freeholder Cooper, absent. Freeholder Graham.
Here.
Freeholder Johnson.
Here.
Freeholder Luciano.
Here.
Freeholder Mercado.
Here.
Freeholder Pomares.
Here.
Freeholder Vice President Richardson.
Here.
Freeholder Sebo.
Here.
Freeholder President Gill, absent.
We will omit the saluting of the flag since we are conducting this meeting remotely. However, for all of those affected and or lost someone to COVID-19 virus, let us pause for a moment of silence. Thank you. 1,925 people in Essex County have been lost to the virus. Be mindful of that. Please stay safe, wear your mask when appropriate. I have before me certification from the clerk that this meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Madam Clerk, are there any transcripts to be approved?
Mr. Chair, there are two conference board meetings, September 9, 2020 and September the 23rd, 2020.
Freeholder, do you have any questions or comments? Hearing none, I have a motion from Freeholder Graham and a second by Freeholder Johnson. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Freeholder Cooper, absent. Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Mercado.
Yes.
Freeholder Pomares.
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Richardson.
Yes.
Freeholder Sebo.
Yes.
Freeholder President Gill, absent. So moved.
Madam Clerk, we will now move to topics of discussion. Madam Clerk, are there any topics of discussion?
Mr. President, Vice President, there is. We have an update of the Essex County College from Dr. Augustine Bokey.
Freeholder, do you have any questions or comments regarding the presentation?
Mr. Vice President, we're going to ask Mr. Bokey, Dr. Bokey, to make a few comments on this presentation.
Thank you. You have the floor, sir.
Good afternoon, all, and thank you very much for giving me opportunity to share with you this afternoon the update of Essex County College. Before I move on, I want to thank all the members of the board of Essex County freeholders, especially President Brendan Jill, for all the support you have provided to the college over the last 50 years. And more importantly, on behalf of Essex County College, I want to thank you for the beautiful proclamation on the occasion of our 50th anniversary service that we had last year. My name is Oache. I'm currently the interim president of Essex County College. I was born in Kumasi, Ghana, in West Africa, where I grew up and continued my education in Britain, I have PhD in economics from Dundee University, Scotland. I've joined Essex College since 2009. I joined Essex as a faculty member, and I became the chairperson of the business division since 2013. Then about a year ago, I became the acting dean of business and liberal arts. At this stage, I just want to share with the members here that my vision is to see Essex County College emerge with increased true quality and affordable education offered in a supportive and collegial environment. This is to be accomplished with prudent resource management, ensuring efficiency and effectiveness in offering services that support our community. A few highlights that I want to share with the members here include our measures with regards to the COVID-19. As you all are aware, as an institution like this, one of the things we always want to stand tall and work hard on is to make sure we protect the staff and the students and the community to the best of our knowledge. We, as a college, put together to respond to the state by providing a comprehensive report as to how we run the institution to the Office of the Secretary of Higher Education for approval before we open our door for the fall 2020 semester. The comprehensive report was accepted, approved, and we since then have been following the steps we put together, and also securing other opportunities to make sure that everybody is safe to the best as we can. We put multiple measures in place here, social distancing, wearing masks, checking entrance temperature, conducting several screening services, and multiple things that we are doing to make sure that our students and our faculty members are safe. We started the semester with very low enrollment numbers when I jumped in as far as 20th or 21st of July 2020. We had just below 2,000 students to start. But I'm glad to share with the board members here that with cooperation and the support from the faculty, the staff, and the board members, we were able to pull everybody together, and we reach out to our students and show them how willing we were to support them with the education. And as I speak, we have over 6,400 students in the classroom taking different courses and programs to make sure that they get better education, as we've been doing over the last few years. There are multiple initiatives. As soon as I jumped in, we had to put in place to make sure that our college is moving in the right direction. A few of them under the academics include putting in place what I call massive outreach campaign, where everybody is involved in the lives of the institution, especially bringing in new students and keeping them. I have put in place a progressive retention task force to research and come out to the best practices to make sure that when the students come in, they don't just redraw, but stay and complete their programs. We've also put in place a mentorship program where the new students are assigned to different faculty members to support them so that they can stay in their academic journey. We have already rolled into our spring 2021 semester, and as soon as we put together, we've already received about 800 registrations for the spring 2021. At the same time, we put together a new program which is referred to as First Year Experience to prepare our students to be successful. One of the things that I want to share with the board members here is that because of the COVID and we are offering most of our courses remotely, with a few of them in the classrooms, we had to work around to make sure that students have internet access. So all our open spaces, we converted them to provide different kinds of internet cafe for students, especially our gym was converted into internet cafe for students who may not have access to internet, may not have access to computer, and they could also at the same time utilize these devices by practicing social distancing. We are also working well with other capital projects, which you have supported us over the last few years. And as I speak, we have a very beautiful and brand new welcome center where students could come in and get one-stop services. We've also completed our Center for Learning and Teaching Excellence, where a lot of training and research will be conducted to support the institution. We're working hard with also our workforce development department to make sure that we'll continue to provide short-term certificate and programs to the community members. So multiple of things are put together to ensure that Essex County College is moving very fast in the game and providing quality and affordable education to our students. With regards quickly to our finances, due to the COVID and a lot of expenses that came together with, and at the same time, the fear of contracting the disease that crippled a number of students from coming to the college, it impacted on the number of students we were expecting. And that obviously impacted on our tuition and fees that we were expecting. Despite these, we have come together to put some measures to make sure that our finances are moving in the right direction. Recently, we just did a reorganization of the institution through consolidation and elimination. We had to cut down the number of cabinet members that we had, about 17 to now 11. We've put together what we refer to as share sacrifice, where we allowed employees to either opt for 5% pay cut or a fellow. These are some of the things we're putting in place to make sure that we can keep the institution moving and running. With regards to our students, the students are still doing very well. And the good news to share with the board members briefly is that Essex County College is one of the 6 colleges across the country that completed what we refer to as NASA ECC Aerospace Scholarship Program. 22 of our students were able to pursue this program, even though their counterpart from other institutions across the nation suspended the program during the COVID period. But Essex County College did the best they could to complete the program. And now they are all referred to as NASA scholars, which is a beautiful thing to share with everybody. With regards to the community relations, as the new interim president, I've reached out to multiple stakeholders and other institutions, especially my fellow university leaders, to make sure that we share ideas and work together to build Essex County College the way it's supposed to be. With regards to our marketing, we have taken new initiatives, and very soon you will see multiple postcards and other avenues to hear from Essex County College, some of the things we're trying to do to reach out to the community so that they can easily join the institution without any issue. I'm working with our foundation to develop new ways and means of raising funds to support the students. And with regards to our accreditation too, we've been submitting all the required reports by middle states. In fact, the last report, which is the annual institutional update, was submitted prior to the due dates that we were given. And finally, I just want to request and also share with the board members here that Essex is going to introduce what you call Giving Tuesday fundraising, which will fall on December 1st, 2020. This is not a new program. Some institutions have done that to raise money for their schools. And Essex will start Giving Tuesday on December 1st, 2020, and you may receive invitation to help us on that. With these and many other things we could share in as we move forward, I just want to once again thank the Board of Freeholders for all the support that you have given to this institution, and even giving me opportunity to introduce myself so that we could work together from here. I cannot thank you and others without thanking the staff, the faculty, the students of this college, and more importantly, the Board of Trustees for the endless support they have provided to me and the college in times of these troubles. So thank you very much. And if there is any quick question, I'll be willing to answer before I drop off from this meeting.
Just want to acknowledge President Gillis has joined us. Thank you, Dr. Boki. We really appreciate you giving us an update. Looked like you left no stone unturned in terms of helping our students and making sure that they have a pathway forward to be successful in their college endeavor. So thank you so much. And I'm sure I can speak for the board in saying that anything that you need from us, that we will definitely be supportive 100%. So thank you very much for that presentation. We really appreciate the update.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your support.
Thank you. Mr. President, would you like to take over public comment session?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. My timing wasn't as good as I hoped, but I deeply appreciate that. Want to say thank you for filling in at the last minute to get us started, and deeply appreciated. And again, thank you to our Essex County College President, Dr. Boki, who was very gracious to reach out to my office and lay out his vision, which I told him was absolutely an important thing for us to hear from, and I'm glad we were able to set this up. So I want to thank him for making the time to be here today. With that, Madam Clerk, let's move to public comment session, assuming that there's no questions. Today's meeting is a combined conference board meeting, and we will vote on every item on the agenda. However, since we're meeting remotely, the public had the opportunity to submit questions and comments for consideration, and can also call in. Madam Clerk, you have additional instructions for our callers?
Yes, Mr. President. If you are calling in, you will be acknowledged to speak in the order that your call was received. Emails received for public comment will be read after the calls are completed. At this time, our public information officer will announce the callers so they can state their comment or question, and be reminded you have 3 minutes to speak. Please do not have your laptop or any electronic device on while calling in. At this time, we are only accepting calls pertaining to agenda items. Please note, you will have the opportunity to call back later in the meeting at the designated time for public comment session on non-agenda items. Carlo Malumba, Public Information Officer, will begin our public comment session now.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. There are no callers in the queue waiting to speak at this time.
Thank you. So I will read the email received for agenda item. And this comes from Jeffrey Feld, Esquire. Dear Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, I respectfully request this letter be included in the November 9th, 2020 virtual meeting agenda. Public comments, official public record. This letter incorporates and supplements all my earlier letters to the freeholders, including my July 8th, 2020, August 3rd, 2020, September 9th, 2020, and October 19th, 2020 letters that have received no written responses. I assume that this letter will be distributed to all freeholders prior to the virtual meeting. Consequently, you need not read my post October the 21st, 2020 meeting chronology into the record. I respectfully request that the following agenda and non-agenda item questions be read into the virtual public records at the appropriate times, subject to 2 separate 3-minute limitations. Agenda item related, virtual civic participation. Why the delay in posting the November 9th, 2020 agenda not until November the 5th, 2020 at 4:27 p.m., less than 25 hours prior to the posted November 6, 2020 at 5 p.m. email submission deadline? 2, who drafted and approved the freeholders post September 24, 2020 virtual civic participation policy and procedure and official public notice, including 3 minutes and citizens comment limitations? 3, do elected officials, fiduciaries of the public trust has a constitutional statutory common law duty to respond to pertinent stakeholder questions prior to taking official action on posted virtual meeting agenda item? 4, do elected officials, fiduciaries of a public trust have a constitutional, statutory, and common law right to respond to non-agenda item virtual meeting pertinent questions with a reasonable period of time? H1 new pro T&C salary ordinance. 5, it is politically and economically prudent for fiduciaries of public trust to consider salary increase municipal legislations days after an election, while numerous municipalities and while residents are confronting unprecedented financial burdens and strains due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Were all the 2020 salary and other related benefit increases incorporated and appropriated within the county and adopted for the 2020 budget? 7, if not, does the county need to amend its adopted 2020 budget? 8, what are the projected aggregate increases in salary and benefits that the taxpayers will be required to pay? 9, would it be prudent to postpone the vote of salary increase resolutions until the second reading public hearing on the salary ordinance and after a more detailed financial consequences presentation? 30 seconds left. 2020 audit. 10, with respect of the 2020 audit, what steps has the county legislative branch taken to ensure adequate mandatory annual long-term tax exemptions, audits, disclosures in the upcoming 2020 audit to be prepared by Samuel Klein and Company? 11, what steps has the county legislative branch taken to collect all long-term tax exemptions revenues due from all Essex County municipalities? 3 minutes have been completed. The balance of this email will be included in the official transcript. Mr. President, at this point, that includes public comment for agenda items only.
Hey, Madam Clerk, please ensure that any information is relayed to the administration for appropriate response. Madam Clerk, do we have any ordinances or resolutions for introduction and first reading?
Mr. President, we have 2. Salary ordinance, County of Essex 2020, 2021, and 2022, and an ordinance appropriating $6 million by the County of Essex for various capital improvements.
Okay, Madam Clerk, let's we can read ordinance number 1 into the record at a later time. Mr. Jackson, please explain the ordinance.
He's on mute.
He's up. Mr. Jackson's on mute. Oh, now he's green.
Okay, that was not me this time. I just want to put that for the record. So I'll go back. Basically, this is a document that you see from every 2 or 3 years where we update the salary ranges for constitutional officers, actually for members of the board, other elected officials, department directors. And it generally, as it does this time, reflects the same increases that were given to collective bargaining units. So for this agreement, it covers the years 2020, 21, and 22, and the increases are 2.8%, 2.9%, and 3% respectively. And again, it covers the range of officials, clerk of the Board of Elections, county tax administrator, commissioner of registration, superintendent of elections, county surrogate, register of deeds and mortgages, county clerk, members of the board, freeholder board, the sheriff, department directors, county council, county administrator's office, and the county executive.
Thank you. Mr. Parlavecchio.
Yes, Mr. President, as Mr. Jackson indicated, these annual increases over for 2021 and 22 are the same as those for the represented employees. Those memoranda of agreements will be later on in today's agenda. This is a salary ordinance, though. This is different than the represented bargaining units. This is for unrepresented.
Landline at home.
Somebody needs to go on mute. Okay.
Yep, I'm here.
These need to go on a salary ordinance because they're the constitutional officers and elected officials. And again, this is just first reading and introduction.
Okay. Mr. McInerney?
Nothing other than what Mr. Parlavecchio just represented.
Okay. Freeholders? Any questions or comments? Okay, freeholders, have a motion from Freeholder Graham and a second from Freeholder Johnson to introduce ordinance number 1. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Siebel. You're on mute. Freeholder Siebel, you're on mute.
I know. Yes, I was working on unmuting it and it wouldn't unmute. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Freeholder Vice President Richardson.
Yes.
Freeholder Pomares.
Yeah.
Freeholder Mercado.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Graham.
Yes.
Freeholder Cooper, absent. Freeholder President Gill.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay,
For
Mr.
item,
Jackson.
2, ordinance 2, Mr. President, Mr. Acker is here to address this item.
Do they have to unmute him?
I think you might have to unmute Mr. Acker. You remember he's gonna. Because I heard him talking before.
Yeah, he's on. I just talked to him. He's on.
Is he,
Hello?
there he is. There he is. Go ahead, Mark.
All right. It's a $6 million capital ordinance as opposed to a bond ordinance. We're not borrowing. That's a bond ordinance. This is capital ordinance. We have the cash, but we need to appropriate it for the intended purposes, which are 2.2 million for the Public Works building on Bloomfield Avenue, and 3.8 million for voting machines.
I just interrupt, Mark, can you just put your name and title on the record so it's clear, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. It's Mark Acker. I'm the Director of Finance, Administration and Finance.
Okay, Mr. Parlavecchio.
No questions.
Mr. McInerney.
No questions.
Freeholders. Just for the administration, can you refresh my memory again on the voting machines were mentioned by Mr. Acker?
Yeah.
What are we doing there?
It's in that ordinance, 6 million, 2.2 million for improvements to the Public Works facility on Bloomfield, and the remaining 3.8 is for the acquisition of the new voting machines.
Okay. So this is what we had put on as a result of the situation. This is what we put on hold. So we're going to finish so we're going to purchase the machines that we didn't end up purchasing last year.
This is an appropriation to buy those voting machines.
Okay. For the paper ballots.
Well, it could also, they could also be used for paper ballots, some of that too, Mr. President, but also if we have in place voting, if we return to that, these machines will be able to handle that as well. So it is, it's both, but it also, and it came into great use during this period, was it also provides the Board of Elections with some high-speed scanning machines, so they're able to do the paper ballots on a much quicker basis than they would have otherwise.
But if we don't have this answer, I understand right now, but if we were to have in-person voting next year in the county, would we be using the new machines that would be using verified paper ballots?
I would say yes. The paper trail that we have talked about so much, Mr. President, I would say yes. The only caveat I would have though would be timing of when the governor would say that was something that we could do, because we have to go back and now train all the poll workers on the new machine. So if it was something that was done right at, say, the June primary or something like that, we wouldn't have the ability to train everybody to do it. So we'd have to wait till probably November. So I would say yes, but just kind of depending upon the timing of when the governor gives authorization to use them. Or I should say when the governor dictates what kind of election we're going to have.
Right, because I think right now, I mean, there's a couple of bills making their way to the legislature, specifically in regards to early voting. So we're actually extending the time that you can cast a ballot. But the second issue, which I read is not resolved yet, but which my hope is that they will actually perform the same access point that they performed